Hello everyone, welcome to our little video. We're making challah bread today. We'll talk a little bit about what challah bread is. First of all, my name is Tal and I'm the owner of Tal's Patisserie, a bakery in Danville. And I'm here with two guests that will be my helpers today. I have Maya here and Mai. They're going to be baking and shaping bread with me. First of all, what is challah dough? So what do you know about challah dough? Anybody?
I know that it is an Israeli tradition to make it on Shabbat and to eat it as a family or with friends.
That's right. It's actually Jewish bread, not just Israeli. But yeah, it's a Shabbat bread. And what's the traditional shape of a challah?
Braid.
It's a braid. Okay, so we have challah dough here that's already been mixed and proofed and ready to go. Challah dough, like many other types of bread, has yeast in it. Yeast is kind of like a magical ingredient that makes bread rise. So it needs time to double its size and get to the right texture that we can work with it. We've done all those steps and now we have the dough ready, portioned to small pieces. Our dough is ready on a cutting board or on a parchment paper. Very important not to work straight on a table. It can stick to a table. Tables are not always as clean as we want, so working on a surface that is meant for dealing with dough is helpful. In order to make a braid, how many pieces do we need?
3.
Okay, so I'm going to cut my dough into 3. You can use a pastry cutter like this. This is a very useful tool in the kitchen. It is used to cut things, but also to scrape balls. What I like about it is you cannot cut your fingers or hands with it, but it cuts dough pretty well. But if you don't have one of those, you can always take your dough and instead of pulling apart the dough, it's a stretchy dough, I always like to kind of twist the dough, and it's a good way to divide the dough without getting it too stretched out. So once we have 3 pieces all cut and ready, we're going to kind of roll each one of them as long as we can so that we can make a braid. If you help me by holding the board a little bit so it doesn't run away, I'm going to show you how I do it. So the best way to do it is to hold your hands in parallel like that and put them not strongly, but in a soft way on top of your dough. And you start rolling your dough very gently while opening your hands at the same time. And you'll keep going back to the middle every time, roll it and open. And if you do that a few times, you will see that you're starting to get a pretty uniform shape for the first strand. And you're going to keep doing that until you feel that your piece is long enough. And again, it's up to you to decide when it's long enough. I think for a small bread that we're doing, this is a good size. And I see it's pretty uniform. So it looks pretty good. I'm going to put it on the side and I'm going to do the same thing with my other piece. Again, parallel hands, very soft way, not pushing down on the dough because you don't want it to kind of mush right into the surface. You want it to stay round. And you keep doing that. Back to the middle every time, back to rolling. After you do it a few times, it kind of gets pretty easy. And you don't have to think about it so much. You get used to it. So the second piece is about the same length and I'm putting it right next to it. And I'm going to do it one more time with my third one. And again, going straight to the middle every time, starting in parallel and opening the dough. And when I have 3 strands like this that are about the same size, I'm going to put them right in front of me and kind of connect the top like this. So I have 3 strands connected at the top, and now it's time to braid. And when you braid, you're going to start with one side. I like to start with the right side, and you take your first strand to the middle of the 2 other strands, but you try to put your strand parallel and close to the side one. So you do that, and then you go and take the opposite, the left one, and you do the same thing. You can move this and you put it parallel to the right piece, and then you take the right piece and you do the same, put it in the middle next to the left piece, and what you do is you alternate your pieces kind of like this until you're out of dough, then you kind of smoosh it together like this, and you have a shape of a braid. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys start working on your braids, and while you're doing that, we have Lila here who joined us too. So all three of you can start working on your braids, and while you're doing that, I'm going to demonstrate another shape you can do. Okay, so the braid is ready here. The girls are gonna work on braids or whatever they wanna work on, and I'm gonna show how to make a teddy bear. For a teddy bear, we're gonna need a head, we're gonna need a belly, and we're gonna need a little bit more dough to make the paws, the hands, the legs, the ears, all kinds of small body parts. So what I'm gonna do is, can I use your pastry cutter for a minute? What I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut a piece for the head, a pretty big piece, big head for this bear. Then I'm gonna cut a piece about the same size for the body of the bear. So I have two pieces, they're almost the same size. And then I have a little bit dough left to make the small body parts. And what I'm gonna do is, I need to make something that's close to a ball. I'm not gonna fight my dough, I'm not gonna try to roll my dough too much. I'm just gonna smooth the top, because really the important part that you wanna have nice and smooth is the top. So I'm gonna smooth the top, the bottom doesn't matter so much because it's gonna stay against the paper anyways, the baking sheet. So once the top looks nice and smooth, I'm gonna put it down. Then I'm gonna do the same with my other piece. Smooth it like that. And put it right under the head. And now you're gonna use the leftover piece and you're gonna actually cut little pieces. The dough sometimes feels a little bit sticky, but actually the stickiness of the dough helps us because it sticks pieces together and it makes it easier actually to work with the dough, to open it, to roll it. So I don't recommend using flour because flour will make it seem like you're losing the stickiness, but at the same time, you're probably gonna get a dough that's too dry and then it's gonna be really hard to shape it. So I don't recommend. If you can deal with the fact that it's a little sticky, it's actually gonna help you. So I'm doing hands and I'm doing the little legs and the little ears on top. Like that, 2 ears. I'm gonna check on the girls in a minute. Let me finish this teddy bear. So now he has 2 ears and now I'm gonna make eyes. Now for eyes, you can either, I'm gonna use dough, but another thing you can use is chocolate chips. Chocolate chips are helpful. You can use chocolate chips, you can use, I don't know, sprinkles sometimes when you make bread. But I'm gonna just use dough. And I'm gonna make a little belly button because it's cute. And then I think my teddy bear is ready. I'm gonna actually lift it so you can see it. And it is gonna grow in the oven because bread does rise in the oven and get a little bit bigger. But he is already cute. So let's put the bear down. And I can lift the braid also so you can see it better. That's how our little braid looks. Same as the big braids that we make in the bakery every Friday, but just in a small. And let's see how the girls are doing. Nice. So you have 3 pieces almost ready to braid. And yours too. Very good.
I'm making time.
Okay. So you keep going on that. And I'm going to do one more thing. In the meantime, I'm going to take another piece of dough. And I'm going to show you that we can get creative. We can do many different things. I'm going to show you how we make something very simple. We're going to make a flower. That's pretty simple. We're going to cut 7 or 8 pieces. We're going to try for them to be about the same size. But once again, nothing has to be perfect. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 pieces. Each one of them, I'm going to roll as best as I can to a ball. I'm going to put this one in the middle. And now I'm going to use, one by one, I'm going to use those balls to create petals around the middle of the flower. Just like that. And I build my flower, trying to make the top as smooth as possible, because that's the part you're going to see. Nice! Almost done. Okay, good. Oh, and you're done too.
Yeah.
And you're done too. 3 beautiful braids. I like it. They look amazing.
What are we making now?
So I'm gonna give each one of you another piece in a minute, and then you can choose whether you want to make one of the shapes that I made. I'm still working on my flower. You can either make one of the shapes that I made, or you can surprise us and make. I'm using the last piece to make a stem for this flower, which I'm gonna put right here. And so this flower is ready. And if you want to make it even cuter, you can, of course, put some sprinkles or some chocolate chips in the middle. If you're going for a, I don't know, sunflower look or something like that, you can do that. And I'm going to put it down. So we're going to start arranging our different breads on a baking tray, because we are going to get ready to bake them. Now, challah bread needs to rise. There are two rises for bread. The one rise is as a dough, as a ball of dough, and the second rise is usually after you shape your bread. You're gonna let it rest for a little bit and kind of relax the dough, let it have the final rise before you put it in the oven. It's still gonna grow a little bit in the oven, but most of the rising is done before the baking. Can I take this bread too? I'm gonna start preparing our tray with our braids. And in the meantime, while the girls are finishing theirs, there's one more step we need to do before we put these breads in the oven. Do you know what it is?
Egg wash.
Egg wash. So what is an egg wash? Maya, do you know what an egg wash is?
An egg wash is like the final coat on the challah. It's to make it like look shinier, I guess.
That's right. You put egg wash to make your bread shinier. And what is egg wash? What do you make it from? What's in it?
Egg.
Yeah, there's many ways to make egg wash. Some add some honey to it, some add some vanilla. But basically what it is a cracked egg that you put in a cup and you scramble it a little bit, kind of like doing a scrambled egg. You want it to be uniform and mixed nicely. And then when it's ready, you need a pastry brush. Looks like a paint brush, but it's not. It's a pastry brush. And you just go and brush each one of your pieces. You want to brush it well. You want to make sure, and you can see it's being coated in kind of like this sheer yellow coating. And that's going to not change the flavor, not change the texture. It's only going to give it a shine and kind of like a golden brown color when you bake it. So we're gonna finish here. Oh wow, that's beautiful. So Mai made a flower here that you can see already. We'll get it close to the camera in a minute so you can all see it. And then Lila is working on, first of all, her braid is decorated with nice chocolate chip. It's gonna be a sweet bread. Oh, you're making a cookie shape. Very cool. And what is Maya doing? Another braid? No? What do you make?
A flower braid.
A flower braid. All right, that's creative. So they're gonna finish their shapes. We're gonna finish egg washing. Now this needs about 20 minutes of rest, and then our bread dough is ready to bake. We'll take all our creations, we'll put them on a tray. We'll bake them in the oven for about, these are small, so I would say about 15 to 20 minutes. Beautiful. So Maya did a braid, and then she swirled it kind of like a snail. Do you want to start egg washing all of that?
Sure.
Awesome. So now she has like a round challah, which is close to what we're making on the high holidays, right? That's when we make, on Rosh Hashanah, we make high round challahs. This is really pretty, Maya. Let's get it close here so everybody can see it. It's really, really pretty. And yeah, okay, looks like we have beautiful creations that are ready to bake. We're finishing the egg wash. We're gonna put all those in a 350 degrees oven, and we're gonna show you our creations when they come out of the oven. Do you wanna say bye for now?